Hello, and welcome to Troubles in Toraigh. This is session 4 of our first campaign on Chronicles of the Fae. I'm Faye, the MC for this campaign, and with me I have some friends, and we're going to play D&D. This campaign is a special project, one of many set in the world of the Wilder. The Wilder Project is a shared world IP where creators can use the structure and lore of this fantasy world called the Wilder in order to create their own stories and games. Some of these stories and games are already in progress, such as our webcomic Magnamel, our mobile game Tower of Gaia, and our tabletop board game Kingstone, all of which are currently released or coming soon. To learn more about those projects and how to support them, you can go to www.thewilderproject.com to learn more. Before we begin the campaign proper, I would just like to cover my ground rules for the channel. It's important to remember that I am not a pro DM, nor are my players pro role players. We have receptive ears and open hearts for any feedback folks have, but it's our game and we're going to play it how we like it. So respect our play style and we'll make sure others in our community respect yours. Along those lines, this campaign is set in the world of the Wilder, which is not directly compatible with the rules of D&D. For the most part, we'll be sticking to the rules of D&D for all the mechanical aspects of D&D, but flavor-wise, everything is not always going to be a perfect fit between in-game descriptions of effects and how we explain those effects in this world. We are implementing some custom rules that we anticipate releasing in a module further down the line so that you can play D&D in the world of the Wilder too. Finally, one of the reasons why I love playing D&D the most is because you can never expect what happens, but that does mean that none of us will have complete control over the content that will be covered during the course of the campaign. Please be mindful of what content might be potentially distressing to you, and if you feel like it is coming up, we highly encourage you to take a break from the live stream and pick the story back up via VOD on YouTube once the live play is over. All right, let's play some D&D. So, when we last left off, you all ventured to an establishment known as the Soaked Sail Inn, hoping to garner some information that might help you get an in with a criminal organization in the city of Toraigh, particularly the elusive Thieves Guild of Toraigh, known only as the Grey Bloods. On your way to the inn, you were waylaid by a pack of thugs who referred to themselves as the Black Paw Boys. You fought the Black Paws, killing most of them with the exception of a lizard folk named Nash, who you allowed to leave with his life. After the scuffle, you entered the Soaksail Inn, where you were greeted by a fox stuffkin barkeep named Dusty. You were able to get rooms, wash up, and socialize downstairs in the bar room. During that time, you had the opportunity to do some investigating amongst the numerous patrons at the bar. You gained some insight into how the Great Bloods operate, as well as a couple of tips as to how your squad might be able to get into the thievery business. Satisfied with your sleuthing, your group elected to head to bed for the night and to look into stealing some steel from the warehouse of the Clio the next day. And that is where we return. So you all are headed to bed. You ascend the stairs to the third floor of the Soaked Sail Inn. Raina and Anna, you two take the first room on the right off the stairwell, and Fishbait, you go in as well with your urn to reside in, even though there are only 2 beds in the room. Reuben and Flynn, you two take the second room down on the right, next to the ladies' room. Both rooms are squalid and bare, with only one small square window in the center and 2 uncomfortable-looking wicker cots, one on each side of the window. Settling into rest, you all are surrounded by the ambiance of the city. It never really becomes quiet as it gets later into the evening. There is a consistent hubbub of moving carts and other foot traffic, the occasional vocal outcry and gulls cawing in the skies above. But you all are all able to eventually settle into a long rest. So I will give you all that long rest now.
Wonderful.
You awake the next morning feeling rested. You wake around 7 a.m. in the morning to the morning sun coming through the small windows in each of your rooms, and you all head downstairs. Coming down the stairs, you can see Dusty, the fox stuffkin barkeep, is up already and kind of cleaning the bar. He gives you all a nod as you head down, and he says, "Morning, lovelies. Can I interest you in some breakfast?"
Breakfast sounds great. What do you have?
Well, we've got bacon, soft cheese, some quail eggs, and raspberries with some flatbread.
That's way fancier than I was expecting.
Well, the cheese is not supposed to be soft, but it still tastes good.
I mean, still, the option is impressive. I'll have some bacon. Just like 2 slices.
Sure, I can do that. There'll be 1 silver piece.
Done.
Anyone else?
You made a mistake, Flynn. It's all about the quail eggs. See the green spots on them. I'll take 2 quail eggs, please.
Very well. And both of you mark 1 silver piece off in your inventory. Can I interest anyone else?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'll wait till later, perhaps.
Do you have any refuse?
I'm sorry, love. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that.
Any scraps?
Oh, well,
Give
we
them my
have-
eggshells.
Sure, yeah, we have some waste if you'd like it. And he turns around kind of confused and he goes through a door behind the bar. And he comes back with a plate of just mush. It smells quite a bit like ale. Looks like it's kind of mushed up pieces of bread and leftover crusts and all of it kind of rotting. And puts the plate down on the table. Then comes out with the much nicer bacon and quail eggs and set them out on the table as well, and gestures at the seats and says, "Enjoy."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty Dusty. Remember I used to call you that?
He goes, "There you are."
Now, Fish Fate or Shoal, you might be able to set up a legitimate business around here, just disposing of refuse, if that's something that you're...
We attempted in the past, but the residents were not too kind on it. They took advantage, and we do not want to go down that avenue again.
That makes sense.
Yes, street juice is not actually juice.
Some of us found that out the hard way yesterday.
Yes.
Thank
You
you for
did.
that reminder.
Might be more successful in like a farming town because then you could like compost, basically, right? That's kind of what's happening.
Yes, we did have a lot of success at the graveyard,
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh,
that was more stealthy,
maybe
sharing that amongst friends.
this isn't the
Probably
best.
wasn't a legit business, was it?
No,
That's what I thought.
I'm no expert, but I don't think most people consider that a great meal topic. So, my mistake for bringing us there. Goodness.
So a better meal topic, I guess.
Oh,
Do we still want to go to the haberdashery? The
I do.
debonair?
I do want to see if we can figure out what happened to that poor man.
True.
I think it is worth checking out, yes.
We do not mind.
And then
Cool.
we're gonna go check out that cache of steel. Right?
The Clio?
Yeah.
That would be one of my top priority locations to go. I know we got a bit of a list yesterday, but
Yeah.
It was like we wanted to go to the haberdashery.
mhm.
The Clio was one of them, and then the other was that like cave with the magic thing.
With
Now-
the
Yeah.
flowers.
Yes.
Mm,
But that one is outside of town? It's not in town?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
just to clarify too, I think the Clio was the ship that the folks that I did some eavesdropping on were going to sail to this wreck on.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
We don't. So I don't know if we should maybe
Well-
find a ship going out before the Clio. Not that
the,
I know.
The Clio was the ship that recovered it. So the
Oh,
Clio has already come in. Those were sailors who were aboard the Clio when they recovered the steel.
got it.
So is the steel still on the Clio? Is that
No.
the ship we're looking for?
No, it's still on the wreck.
Okay.
Right?
No, it's on the docks of the Clio's
Oh.
wharf.
Ah,
Okay. Cool.
I don't know why my brain was like, it's on a boat that's in the water that for some reason no one has brought in yet. That
We
makes more
also thought
sense.
that.
And Ruben would be able to tell you that the ledge wharfs are a series of docks that are actually 300 feet above the water on the cliffside of the inlet, and that's where small merchant ventures and aspiring pirate gangs will purchase warehouses and docks for their ships, and they are all kind of lined along there doing the small business that they do. And you could kind of walk up there and see each one is kind of lined up in kind of like a marina.
And now that I've explained all that, I hope you guys don't have any questions.
I have one actually. How far is that from if we want to check out the haberdashery first? Or we could go there second.
Yeah, it's probably about an hour and a half walk.
Okay.
But it's on the way.
It wouldn't be on the way, but you're in the district of the Debonair haberdashery.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the McCormick family said that it was in Midtown Cross, but near the Boatleg Market.
Okay.
Which is downtown.
Will we be able to seal the seal in daylight? What is our plan?
I think we are scoping it out first. I don't think we had like the legitimate plan to steal yet. I think we're just kind of seeing what we're working with before we came up with a plan, correct?
Sounds smart to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if it's being guarded. We don't know like if it's just sitting out in the middle of you know what I mean? There's too many factors we have no idea of yet that would probably be better to learn about.
We should also probably figure out how we're going to move it and where we're sending it once we take it. Like, are we selling it to someone, and who would that person, like?
Well, I guess if we got to get the attention of local criminals like the Grey Bloods selling it, we ought to find some kind of black market or something.
Was that the guy that you were playing the cards with or whatever? Was he
Baz.
Was he someone that was able to move things or no?
I didn't really get that impression.
Okay.
But if I run into him again, maybe he'll point me to someone. I didn't really ask that.
Yeah, and we aren't quite set in the underground to be able to like check in on people and be like, hey, if you want to sell to people, who do we talk to?
Maybe if we can figure out what was going on at that haberdashery place, if he owed protection money, maybe we could use some of it to pay it off for him, and that would get some attention. I don't know.
Honestly, though, I might be the most competent as far as finding other criminals to ask things about. So we could always try.
Wait, are you a criminal?
I mean, I worked for a criminal, yes.
Ooh. Ooh, we will follow your lead.
I mean, I'm not saying I was like the head of the business or anything by any means, but like, in I forgot what it was called. What was the place?
Todmorden.
I knew there was the correct letters were in my head, but not in the right order. But in Todmorden, yeah, I worked for a guy who was a little shady.
Yeah, and with your criminal contact feature, Anna, you would know that if there were to be goods to be moved illegally in Toraigh, the slums would probably be where you would go to sell those goods.
Okay, but we're not currently in the slums.
Not currently in the slums,
but
no,
it's just a little bit lower than us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
We're
So that is
having
always an
quail eggs
option.
and cheese for breakfast. I hope we're not in the slums.
But yeah, that will probably be our best bet. But again, I've never been here, so I don't know exactly who to talk to. But that is probably the direction we would want to go in.
Okay.
All right. We have a rough plan. I like it.
We can always hide it. Hide the seal we steal.
Yeah, but we would need a place to hide it. Again, we are kind of new here, so we don't have like an established base, and I don't know if the people who run this place would be very happy if we were hiding goods in their establishment.
We could go
need
ask
a
them.
good spot.
We could go ask them if they're okay with us hiding goods in their establishment.
Dusty seems nice.
Oh God.
I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, I guess the worst that they can say is no. Or, I mean, I guess the worst that they could do is
Just kick us
turn
out.
us in.
Did
We
you
have
have?
a spot if we need.
Oh,
We do.
Is it in your urn?
Mm. No.
What are you trying to keep that secret?
No.
Inside check?
my goodness.
It's gonna be dog shit, but
Let's see.
it's a 10.
A 10. You can't quite get a read on this pile of insects. Is hard to get a read on.
You're
Very few
really,
facial features to go off of.
you're a wily one, you are.
Mm.
The mind of a bag of cats.
We are not cats.
Good to know.
Got the mind of 10,000 bugs.
That's a low estimate, but yes.
You know, okay.
Let's-
But yeah, those are the options and kind of plan for today, I guess.
Do the haberdashery.
Yeah, let's go.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
Okay. As you all kind of get ready to head out and you're pushing your chairs in and things like that, Dusty calls to you from the bar and he says, "You folks planning on staying a while? Or will you be coming back this evening? Should I hold your rooms?"
That would be great.
Yeah.
I think we don't have an exact estimate, but at least a couple days.
Can do. That'll be another 2 silver pieces per room.
I want to say that I paid for like a week worth of rooms, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either. So let's
Where's my gold at? Inventory. I know I had 7 silver pieces and now I have 3.
so unless you paid for everybody, then you did pay for multiple days.
I paid for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be another 4 for the evening.
Why is the price higher?
Well, it's for 2 rooms, so it's 2 silver pieces per room.
Gotcha. Then I will do that.
All right. We'll keep those rooms locked up for you.
How many gold pieces is silver?
It's 10 silver to a gold piece.
Okay. So that would mean I have 9 silver now. Great. I can do math. And that means I have 99 gold pieces. Again, I can do math.
Wow.
Look at me. But yes, let's go.
Okay. You all walk through the double doors of the Sail Inn, and before you is the alleyway that served as your last battleground. Across the dirt and cobblestone, you can see large, dried, coagulated pools of blood. And in the center of the alleyway, a short, hunchbacked poppet in dirty, blood-soiled rags that are kind of brownish. He's currently in the middle of heaving a gnoll skeleton into a cart that's next to him, which you can see the cart is filled with bodies.
We're
wow.
taking those.
What a strange occurrence. Does this happen often?
He says, "I'm the corpse collector.
Of course you are.
Enforcers called me to clean up these bodies."
Do those look like they're the bodies of the people we killed?
They are the
Yeah.
bodies of the
Oh yeah, they 100% are. Yes.
The poppet and the doll were the only ones that Shoal didn't eat.
Wow. I don't know how dangerous it is around here. We It's gotta be sure.
What happened?
Don't quite know. Enforcers said there were no witnesses. But and then he kind of nods to Flynn. He says, "Best watch the company you keep, friends. There are monsters eating bodies out here." And he gestures to the skeleton in his cart.
Just
Truly
very
wicked.
slowly look over at Shoal.
Now, I
Yes.
doubt there were no witnesses.
I'm sure there was got to be somebody. That's such a weird crime to happen in the middle of the street.
Well, when the enforcers come around, there's oftentimes no witnesses. People don't talk. That's how it is.
Collecting. Is that a business that keeps you busy here? Is that like a daily thing, or
Yeah, it keeps me walking a lot.
Mhm.
But it pays a good daily wage.
Okay.
I work for the city. My name's Doug.
Doug.
It's nice to meet you,
Hello,
Doug. So you're saying that this kind of stuff happens when the enforcers are in town, or they're always in town, I guess, because they kind of operate here.
Well, the enforcers come after the fact. They do a little investigating, but they usually come up dry. Like this mess, and he gestures to the gigantic pool of blood in the alley.
Would you say that the community has a positive outlook on the enforcers, or are they like it's one of those like we don't talk about them because people end up dead kind of things?
It's a mixture. Most people don't think the enforcers are worth much, I think, but they help people out from time to time. So, you got to appreciate them for that.
Do you ever find that the enforcers are doing things that like maybe kind of shady? Or are they mostly like a good force?
What's it to you?
I'm just curious.
We're new here.
Are you offended by my question? You seem very defensive.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Oh shit. I have no charisma. Like I said, no charisma.
Oh my God.
Listen, let's just say not all the bodies I collect are from crime. A lot of times they're from the stopping of crime, if you get my meaning.
Okay.
You said there's a lot of walking. Where do you take these bodies? How far?
I take them to the graves. Graveyards are mostly by the city plaza out by the farms. So I do a lot of walking back to there, but I mostly cover downtown. There are a few other guys who work the docks and the slums. One day soon, I'm hoping to get into the slums because that's where I live. So be a lot less walking. He kind of wipes his nose a little bit.
Would that be worrisome though, that you would be collecting bodies in the slums where you live? But like there would be so much crime that you would have to find the bodies there. Does that bother you, or you just kind of like, yeah, it happens?
It's been 20 years I've been doing this. You kind of get used to it. As long as I'm not the next body, that works for me.
Where are you headed after this stop?
Haven't heard yet. Probably going to go back to the office, see if there's anyone else.
Is the office on the way to the haberdashery?
The what?
The Debonair haberdashery. That's where we're headed. Is that near where your office is?
Hold on. He's gonna make a history check real quick.
I'm planning on walking this man back to the office.
Yeah.
We can protect him.
Help him carry some corpses we made.
Would he recognize me?
No.
Okay.
You'd imagine most of the common folk of the city probably wouldn't recognize you out of your enforcer garb. There is a small chance that enforcers might recognize you, and I actually have a mechanic planned for that if you ever encounter one, so watch out. But yeah, so that's one thing you would have to look out for. But actually, uh, Doug rolled a natural 20 on his history check, so he says, no, actually, that the Debonair Haberdashery is nowhere near the office, but I know exactly
Darn.
where it is. I can give you direct instructions on how to get
Oh,
there.
That would be lovely.
Perfect. Yeah. I'll rip out a piece of paper from my notebook and
Okay. Yeah.
I'm ready. Tell me where.
So he gives you the instructions, and so you guys won't have to do any urban navigation to find where you're headed next. And he essentially explains that it's on this large roadway that kind of separates the Midtown Cross from the Boatleg Market. There's a large row of shops there, and the Debonair Haberdashery is one of the shops down there.
Did you arrange any trips there recently?
About 2 months ago, there was a stabbing out there. There was both a doll and a wolven were killed. It was outside though; it wasn't near the premises.
And do you hear anything about disappearances, or I mean they happen a lot, or no?
Well, Torrey's a big city. People go missing all the time, and it's hard to tell why. You know, some people it's because of the drink. Some people owe debts. Some people get into, unsavory business and they get in over their heads and wind up floating in the ocean. But yeah, people do go disappearing. I have heard of that.
Was the family a doll family?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
How long ago was it?
It was only about a week ago, so it would
Okay.
you would know it was not this crime that he's talking about.
Gotcha. Well, we do not want to keep you any further from your work so that you can get home as quickly as possible.
And he throws the last body over his back and he's like, appreciate it, and throws it into the cart, walks in front of it, picks up both the handles, and he says, you folks be safe. Keep a lookout for those body-eating bandits out there.
We will
He
keep
goes walking off.
all the eyes up.
If
Have a
you
great
see
day, Doug.
Joe, tell him we say hello.
And he looks back and he says, I will. Who might you be?
We are Shoal.
Okay, Shoal. I'll let him know. And he keeps walking.
Was Job also a body collector?
Joe was our friend. Joe is our friend. He helped us connect with Winston.
You're just full of names. But how did you know that this man would know Job?
We know bodies well. We worked at one of the graveyards. That was one of our hiding spots. Nobody goes there.
No one living, that is. Anyway, shall we make our way to the haberdashery?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little skeptical that we were going to get anything helpful out of him, but he sure seemed to know his way around.
For real.
What a genuinely nice dude.
I was
We
thinking
should
about
write
it
his
as I
bosses
rolled
a
it.
letter.
I was thinking about it as I rolled it. Like, it would make sense that he knows everything, like a cabbie, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. And yeah, that 20.
I should
Let the
give
dice
him
tell the story, huh?
a good Yelp review.
Right? Yeah, so you walk further through the winding streets of Midtown Cross until you come across the large throughway that separates Midtown Cross from the Boatleg Market. As you reach the corner of this larger street, you hear a commotion down the road to your left. Looking down that direction, you can see the crowds of the street clearing the streets as 6 Fomorians round the corner pulling a massive wagon piled high with something that's covered by a big black sheet. The Fomorians are a diverse lot, each massive in size: a troll, a very big boned skeleton, an ogre, a wolven, a slod, and a minotaur. Each of them are heavily scarred, wearing light cloth tunics, trousers, not much else, an eye patch on one or two of them. They strain intensely as they pull this massive wagon behind them. On the back corner of the wagon is a small perch built much like a crow's nest of a ship, with a satyr in a tri-corner hat holding a crossbow looking out amongst the crowd. As this display comes into full view, you see another group of Fomorians with another massive cart. Each of these carts is like the size of a military Humvee, with these massive steel wheels with like diamond plate treads on them. This one has a toy knight with a cloth sailor's cap on their helmet in the crow's nest with a crossbow as well. There are pirates on foot, in addition, walking on either side of the wagons, wielding cutlasses and rapiers, all of them menacing and scarred, most of them Fomorians. The street becomes filled with a cacophony of loudly squeaking wheels and grunts, and an increase in the hubbub throughout the crowd as they're forced to push themselves back against the walls of the shops of the street for the wagons to be pushed back. But you can also hear music. As the wagons pull closer, a figure leaps from the top of the second wagon to the front of the first. You see riding atop this wagon a tall, lean fish folk with a long blue frock coat and a darker blue vest with red trousers that slightly poof out at the ankles. His face resembles that of a pufferfish or a frog with a bulbous, inflating neck that inflates and deflates as he breathes and sings. His head has a number of spikes coming out of it, 3 on the top of his head that are large enough that they actually pierce the corners of his tri-corner hat that he's wearing, and a number of others protruding from his cheeks and the sides of his neck. Each of them is pierced with some kind of silver or gold ring or a little dangly charm. Strapped to him is a mandolin, which he is playing, and in a piercingly loud voice, he begins to sing. And he says, "Oh, it's a golden morn, 'cause the Grin's got a haul." And then everyone pulling the wagons in a low voice goes, "The greatest haul that you ever done saw." And he says, "Plucked across the seas through tempest and squall, the greatest haul that you ever done saw. So grab your coin, take a loan, beat the throng, 'cause booty like this, it won't last long." And they all kind of chanting this as the pufferfish fish folk is leaping back and forth from cart to cart, and these massive wagons get pulled in front of you.
But did you say what was on them? Sorry.
It's not clear what's on them. There are these long black cloth canvases kind of draped over the wagons.
This must be the Grin. The Golden Grin? Whatever the fuck they're called.
I didn't know pirates had parades. And now I'm thinking we should rethink our choice about which gang to join.
Is the parade a like plus for you, or are you like, nah, I don't do parades? Like, I'm not sure which way you're leaning with that comment.
I think this is lovely. They got music. It seems festive to me.
Can I scan the like crowd to see? I want like to try to find someone who's like really excited to see them or like into this.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
go ahead and roll a perception
besides
check.
Reina.
Yeah, besides Reina. You said perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see that generally most of the Fomorians seem really into it. They're almost kind of cheering like, "Hey, here they are, our boys." All of the adult toys seem to kind of just be kind of respectfully waiting for the procession to be over. Like, here this is happening again. All the kids seem delighted, toy or Fomorian alike.
Fair enough. I want to walk up to the nearest Fomorian that's like enjoying this.
Sure. Yeah. There's a Wolven about a couple people down from you who's kind of clapping. He's got like a light bluish looking gray fur.
Hey, I'm new here. This seems kind of cool. Does this happen often? Like, do you recognize these guys?
Oh yeah, this is the hall.
The hall?
The hall happens every day.
Wow. That's a lot of production every day. That's exciting.
It's a booming industry the Golden Grin gives us. They like to give us a reminder of, where our goods are coming from.
Is that hidden knowledge to them, or would you know like where they're hauling from?
Well, you don't know specifically, but you know they're out there on the seas, doing
Okay,
the nautical trade that, can't get into Dubclane anywhere else but here.
gotcha. All right. If I was looking for a pirate crew that may have been around Mercersburg in the past, would pirate crews like that come through here, or is there someone who would know, like keeps track of ledgers and stuff?
Make a persuasion check for me.
That I'm not as good at. Yeah.
He says, "Hey, man, just because I'm a Fomorian doesn't mean I know what all the pirates are up to.
Oh,
Okay. So I'm an
I wasn't
accountant."
trying to insinuate. That's honorable work. I like that.
Is
So
he
listen,
an
if you want
accountant?
to know, that's what he said.
Or
Yes.
is he an accountant?
If you want to know what the Golden Grin's business is, you're gonna have to go down to the docks.
The dot. Okay. I didn't mean to impose. I got kind of caught up in the moment and wanted to know more.
Sure,
I'll
it
leave
happens.
you to it. And I'll walk away.
I mean, we're not shaming here. If he's an accountant,
Yeah, so the
All work is
fishboat
work.
singer is kind of jumping back and forth from the second wagon to the first, doing multiple verses of this kind of chant. And you can see now there's a third massive wagon coming up behind them. There are now maybe like 50 pirates on this street in Midtown Cross. And they raucously make their way through the intersection and further down the roads towards the bootleg market.
now they really put on the production, huh?
They sure do. They seem fairly well liked.
By
Yeah,
at least
them
part
too.
of them.
Yeah.
The Fomorians, yeah, they're all about it. Looks like everyone else is just kind of tolerating.
Those kids look pretty happy, if you ask me.
Kids are kids.
Right. Cute.
So is this like we have to wait for the procession to be able to get where we're going, or are we still able to make our
No, the
destination?
procession is about winding up now, and you still can kind of walk on the side, what would be the sidewalk space of this road. There isn't a sidewalk, but you've got about that much space to walk on either side of these massive wagons. Who is leading the group? I'd like one person to make a perception check to kind of whoever took I guess it would probably be you, Flynn, right? Because you took the directions from Doug.
Okay.
So make another perception check for me to kind of.
Sure. Oof. I think I'm distracted.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. There's a lot going on, but at first glance, you all do not notice a debonair haberdashery on this road.
Mm.
Didn't
Doug?
he say it was over here?
I think Doug gave me bogus instructions on how to get here.
It can't
Doug would.
possibly. Doug just seems such a great guy. He wouldn't give us fake instructions.
I mean, it was early. Maybe he was just, a little lost in his own
I
head.
mean, it could just be that there's like a lot of people out and about right now, and like with that whole fanfare that just went by, I feel like it's got to be around here somewhere.
We could
What
do
did-
another loop.
Did we ask for directions?
We could do that.
Reuben and
Wouldn't-
Fishbait, why don't you both make perception
I was
checks?
gonna say, wouldn't I know where it is?
Well,
Yeah, so
I really danced around that 20.
Reuben, for real. Reuben, you see that directly where the debonair haberdashery should be, there's one shop that has a canvas hanging over its sign, and painted on it, it says Daly's Dressings. The storefront has large windows with mannequins displaying an array of modest dresses of blue and yellow cloth, as well as a collection of gentlemen's waistcoats and trousers.
Don't you guys worry. He did right by us. We're in the right place. There's just dresses there now. That's the
Oops.
problem.
Oh, okay.
but that seems awful fast to clear out a whole business and put in a whole nother one, doesn't it?
That's
Well, who
been
knows?
incredibly fast.
Things change around all the time, and it could be under the same management. They just moved to dressers.
Well, considering the management went missing, I doubt that.
Let's go in. Maybe the folks running it now will have some ideas, or at least know if they're paying protection money or something. Maybe it's the same person. That'll be a lead.
Yeah, we can check. In we go, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. So walking inside the establishment, the opening of the door causes a light ringing of a bell that hangs above the door. On either side of you are walls that are each just floor-to-ceiling shelves and racks with a wide assortment of trousers, waistcoats, dresses, skirts, tunics, and cloaks. Near the ceiling, the shelves end, and there are a series of large spools of fabrics of various types and colors. And there are kind of those, those rolling ladders. There's one on each side to get up to the top there. The shop floor is divided into 2 rows by low tables with clothing laid out on top and mannequins adorned with some of the higher quality merchandise standing atop the tables. In the back of the shop is a wide countertop with even more fabrics behind it and tall shelves full of various hats. The countertop is littered with a mess of notes and designs and diagrams of measurements. Behind the countertop is a mannequin dress form with a half-cut piece of fabric draped over its shoulder. To the right of the countertop is a doorway with a curtain pulled across it, and to the left of the countertop is a small wooden spiral staircase that leads up to a second floor. The curtain to the back room opens, and out comes a female poppet. She looks young, maybe in her late teens, with bright yellow hair cut in a bob and light red freckles dotting the wooden-looking complexion of her cheeks. She's wearing short-sleeved tunic that is faded pink and darker maroon trousers that almost have like a military cut to them. And she quickly steps up straight behind the counter. And she says, "Welcome, welcome. I'm Maeve Daly, and welcome to Daly's Dressings. You guys look like you could use an upgrade to your wardrobe. How can I help you today?"
Can't tell if that's insulting or not.
We like our clothes.
Yeah.
We is this a newer establishment? I don't think I've seen this place around this street before.
Yeah, you might remember this used to be the Debonair Haberdashery.
Yeah.
But it's changed ownership recently.
Oh.
The owner up and disappeared about a week ago, and the Tory Chamber of Commerce was lovely enough to turn ownership over to me.
Chamber of Commerce?
Yep.
That sounds very legitimate.
They are quite legitimate, yes. They run all the rules and regulations around running a business or a shop in the downtown district.
Gotcha. And you said that the owner disappeared. Did you hear anything about that, or like what had happened to him?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. Why do you ask?
Well, you're just curious because we knew some people that knew him, and we are just kind of interested because this is it used to be his place, and we are excited to see his place, but now it is gone. No offense to your place. I mean, it looks lovely, and I'm sure you are making very great things here.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, that I should have just stopped talking very quickly. That was the wrong thing, wasn't it? That was a wrong thing. As I rolled it, I was like, that's not correct. Did that register? No, it didn't register.
Well, what's your perception? What's your persuasion bonus?
Oh, my persuasion bonus
just
is
add that
0.
to your 4. Oh, even worse. Okay.
Oh, dice! It gave me the 20, and then it took it away.
She says, "Well, to be honest, I haven't really touched up the place too much yet. I only just got set up a couple days ago. But I mean, I don't. How do you know Tommy? I can't really be giving out his personal life details to just anybody."
We know his
He just
family.
told us his name.
Maybe
He
we know
already
his name.
started.
Oh, drat.
While this
We-
conversation's going on, I'm kind of like investigating the room.
Sure.
I don't know,
Yeah,
'cause
roll an investigation check.
I'm kind of keeping it discreet because I don't want anyone to recognize me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a 14.
Yeah, so the room looks pretty much undisturbed. There are no other patrons in the store currently. And from the street, clear view into the store is pretty obscured by the mannequins that are in the windows. So you don't feel too risky that somebody might notice you.
Okay, but there's nothing peculiar. I can't say that word. There's nothing
Peculiar.
peculiar. I can't say it.
You're almost there. Just say "lar" at the end.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
There's nothing peculiar about the front of the shop. No.
Okay. Then, well, yeah. All right. You proceed.
We knew his family. His like his brother and the brother's family.
You did.
Yes.
And how do you know them?
We
Oh, you
saved
know.
them from wolves.
A while ago we saved them from some wolves that attacked.
They said they were forced out of town and their Tommy went missing, so they asked us while we were going in if we could check it out.
Oh. Well, I don't know anything about them getting forced out of town. That sounds dreadful. The shop was empty when I was given the keys. I haven't touched anything of Tommy's.
No, we're not saying that you did it by any means. You do not worry about that. We're not blaming you. We're just trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah. Are you a little worried that whatever happened to him might start happening to you?
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh, I'm not trying
That
to
one-
intimidate her.
I'm just asking a genuine question.
I'm
not.
concerned.
I don't think you're trying to outwardly intimidate her, but I
Okay.
do think that in a way you're making her think about things that might be threatening to her.
Raina
Which
says
I
as
wouldn't
she punches her
qualify.
hand.
Yeah.
Cracking her knuckles. You ever think something might happen to you?
Been worried about this place?
She says,
You know,
"All right.
just,
Well, listen, I knew Tommy. We tailors have a strong network. We like to talk trends and techniques, and he taught me how to make some of my best pieces. But to be honest," and she kind of leans in a little bit over the counter. She's like, "He was a drunk and a debtor to boot. I bet you he was headed down to the Compass Rose by the docks, drunk, and just never made it there. More than a
is that
couple
the
of
bar?
folk." She would say, "The Compass Rose is like one of the larger bars, kind of a bar and casino down by the docks. I've never
Oh.
been. It's for the more depraved types.
Perfect.
But more than a couple folk have disappeared lately in the middle of the night. That can happen in a city like this."
Gotcha. And you don't, I mean, you probably won't, but you don't happen to know like who he may have owed debts to. Had he ever mentioned that or no?
I just know he was always talking about having to pay people back. It was one of the reasons that it was one of the things that drove him to be, as adventurous a tailor as he was. He was always trying new things, trying to find some way to make the materials he had sell for something more than they're worth, because he always had a debt on his back. But I don't know who the debts were for. I didn't really ask.
No, that makes sense.
It's not really my wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, no. Well, thank you for that information at least.
We appreciate you being so helpful. One last piece of information, if you're comfortable giving it, would you happen to know where Tommy lived? Like where his house
Oh, sure.
was?
Yeah, Tommy lived upstairs.
Oh, he lived right in here.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
mean when I say I didn't touch any of his
Oh,
stuff.
any of his stuff.
I haven't
That
even
makes-
I haven't even gone upstairs. I've been living in my wagon in the back.
Oh.
Would you?
Would you be comfortable with us checking it out or
Roll another persuasion.
Fuck!
Can I help since I'm like?
Yes, since you're both asked at the
Okay,
same
thank
time,
you.
you can either roll separately or Anna can roll with advantage.
What's your addition?
4.
Let's roll together.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
You're welcome.
Oh God.
She hesitates for a bit and then is like, okay, fine, but you have to be quick, okay? I can't have any regulars coming in and think that I'm giving away Tommy's stuff or anything like that. They're still really worried about him.
No, of course. I mean, we if anything, you can just tell them that we are investigating his disappearance, which is what we're doing. But we'll try to be as quick as possible. Yes.
She says, okay, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And she gestures towards the spiral staircase.
Thank you so much. All right, let's go investigate, friends.
So you all head up the spiral staircase and you come to the second floor of the shop. It steps up into a narrow hallway that extends the length of the shop. Further back towards the entrance, there's one door, and then there are 2 doors that are towards the rear of the shop. Otherwise, the hallway is rather bare. But who would like to investigate what room? You have the door towards the front, middle door, and the back door.
I'll take the closest door.
What's the marching order?
That's a good question.
I
You
feel
tell
like that kind of determines the first person goes into the first door. Oh,
It's probably going up pretty first.
Yeah, probably Anna and
Then-
I in the
Yeah.
front.
take the last door.
Okay.
We will go with Raina.
I guess we'll take the middle door.
Okay. So heading towards the door towards the front is is Flynn and Anna. Okay. You open the door into what looks to be kind of the master bedroom of the house.
Kidding.
It is kind of bare. There is a large cot with a kind of nightstand next to it, a candle up top that is not lit, and then a series of drawers opposite the bed, and then a large window that looks out to the street. Both of you roll an investigation check, please.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this room seems rather empty, and it looks like Tommy either didn't have many belongings, or perhaps the family took some of his belongings before leaving. But it seems like it has been a little emptied. But there isn't anything of note other than that.
I know I didn't roll super well, but would I be like the craftsmanship of the furniture, like of the bed and the cot, would that be of something impressive to me, or is it like kind of gaudy?
No, it's very modest. Yeah. Yeah, it's not much better
Looking
than
for secret bottoms.
it's not much better
drawers?
than the beds that you guys slept in at the soak sale. So
Okay.
There's no like closet or anything.
no closet, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drawers are filled with some clothing, but nothing else.
Check the pockets.
And then who was headed towards the middle door? Okay. Raina and Fishbait, you open the door to the middle room, and it's kind of like a smaller, it looks like at one point it was a like a parlor room. Several of the chairs have been pushed up against the wall, and there's a small kind of fireplace, and like a round circular red carpet in the center of the floor. Both of you go ahead and make investigation checks for me.
Oh dear.
Oh,
We're great, guys. We
Oh,
are
yeah.
world's
was-
greatest detectives right here.
Interference is doing that thing where it,
Let's go with the dice immediately.
oh yeah.
That's totally why I'm rolling bad.
Yeah.
That's definitely the reason. Not anything else.
Yeah, neither of you find anything of interest in this room either. It looks like the fireplace hasn't been used in some time. The chairs don't seem to have anything special going on with them, other than that they have oddly been stacked up on the side of the wall. The floor is relatively bare.
Can we check the carpet?
Sure. Yeah, you want to lift up the carpet? You lift up the carpet and you find that it is much cleaner underneath the carpet. It looks like not much has been swept under the rug here. And there's nothing going on.
It's up to you, Ruben.
You
All
are
right,
the
Ruben.
one, the
To
saving
possibly
grace, to
investigate.
make this not a
Yes.
failure.
But what if there was something good in another room?
We'll never know.
You'll never know now.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah,
you want to
Ruben,
do
you open
double
the door
backs.
to the room that is in the furthest to the back of the shop.
It's the restroom. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it is a very small kind of kitchenette. And
Hide all the secrets in the kitchen.
it also is quite dusty. There's still some pans and pots that have been left out. It seems like all the food has been taken. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Oh wow.
I've been
Wow.
holding that over the box this whole time. I jumped the gun and I've been just holding my mouse down like over the box waiting for this. And that's what you got to do, apparently.
You were supercharging it. So you scour through the kitchen and a lot of it seems very, very bare. And for a moment you get kind of frustrated and you're about to give up when you go to take a seat at the small table for two that's in the back of this room. And you notice that there's a little corner of a piece of paper sticking out from the bottom of underneath the table.
So the
Look
quail
under,
eggs
it's just covered in gum.
quail eggs aren't adjusting well with my tongue, and I'm kind of like, ugh. I need to have a seat. And I sit down and I'm kind of like holding my back because I'm old and I'm like just giving up, I'm like, I'm not having it. I didn't realize how much I didn't want to walk around in the daytime. I don't want to run into anyone I know. I'm just grumpy. And then I look down and I see this piece of paper. I'm like, everyone in here. Before I even look at it, I'm just really excited that I found a piece of paper.
You all hear Ruben cry out.
What's
What'd you
up?
find?
A piece of paper.
Is it helpful?
Hey.
Well, let me take a look at it. Do I have to roll something for that?
No. Roll to read.
I have
Oh man, I rolled a
I have
2.
a
I suddenly
plus-
forgot how the language works.
I'm intelligent. I have a +2 intelligence, so I could read this, just so you guys know.
Wow.
This
Thank
is
you.
what it says. The note says, "Your seat at the Rose has been reopened. Meet me at the bottom of Cliffdown Row after dusk for your pass. Signed, Denk."
That's an exciting piece of paper.
Do we assume that the Rose is this bar that she was talking about?
That's what it sounds. I mean, I don't have any other guesses.
Your seat at the Rose has been reopened. What does that even mean? Like, was he a part of some kind of like secret council or something? And like, yes, you got their seat back.
Why would you need a pass just to have a seat?
I mean,
Kinda-
or it could be like a super secret gambling ring.
Do you recognize the rose?
Do I know the Rose?
Yeah, the Rose is notorious. It's a gigantic kind of carnival casino that the pirates frequent down in the docks. And for the most part, it's notorious for pirates being pretty unwelcoming to non-pirates using the Rose. You would not know much more beyond that, Ruben, just because enforcers don't really patrol the docks at all. Because the pirates mostly take care of their own business.
And would that be in the same area of the steel that we are trying to find anyway, or is that in a different area?
It's a different area, but they're next to each other.
Okay, well, at least that's
Maybe if we get the steel, that's worth a lot of money. We could go gamble and try to get some attention like that and try to find, I don't know, find out what pass and seat he had.
Hmm.
I know we're not trying to get in with the pirates necessarily, but it could be a good start for embedding ourselves.
After the fanfare this morning, I don't think I'd mind being part of the pirates.
Neither would we.
Though I feel like, no offense to you, Flynn, I don't know if you're quite the visage they're looking for.
They had a toy soldier. I feel like I could.
Did they? Oh,
emulate
At a
that.
night.
wait, were they not the ones who are like Fomorian only, or is that?
They are mostly Fomorians, yeah.
Because there's like the three groups, like one of them is like Fomorians, one of them
Mhm.
is toys, and then one of them's the mixed. And the mixed one's the slums one?
The mixed one is the Mungers.
The real bad ones.
Okay.
We don't like the mongers.
And the Mungers were the ones that we think did this situation. Right? Isn't that
It's what we were thinking.
I
but I think
thought
now we think it's the pirates.
I had asked someone and they said that the Mungers controlled this area.
That is true. Somebody did tell you that the Mungers
It
control
was
all business in the...
Rusty. Rusty told me that.
Okay.
Mhm.
And we know, I will say quietly, but not too quietly, we know they're the ones that Ruben seems to have some baggage about.
Yes.
Let me be clear here. I have baggage with all of them. We don't like any of them.
Yeah, but you got real touchy when they came up the first time.
No, I'm just a decisive person. I really don't care.
Okay. Well,
should we, I guess, since we kind of have a lead for this, but not really a way in, should we look into the steel and see what we can scope out there?
Yeah. And then we can ask around about the rows and see if we can get passes of our own or something.
yeah, I'm
How
sure.
old does the piece of paper look? Like, is it like, I know that's a weird question. Is it like, I don't know.
This is 2 days old.
Yeah. I want to get the
Make-
good smell. See if it
Make
still
a
has
forensics check.
that fresh paper.
Uh,
Is it like super like
Give me a-
ratty and
give me an
dusty?
investigation check.
We can tell you exactly when this piece of paper was cut from its tree.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
it doesn't look aged.
Okay.
It's not like an ancient scroll or anything like that. It's a piece of paper and it has kind of the imprint of the foot of a table on it.
The imprint of a foot. Oh,
Because it was under the table.
Oh, I was.
It has to be at least as old as it took them to change the shop over to the new shop after they went missing.
Yeah, a week. That's not.
But I mean, we don't know. Like, it could have been weeks beforehand that this has been sitting here.
It's true.
I was trying to see if
We'd be able to go down to Clifton Row and see if we can get the pass.
well, no. Well, if this is potentially what led to him going missing, or if this is like a super old piece of paper and he would have had done this like months ago. But anyway.
It doesn't seem super old.
Cool. So we should be a little careful poking around the road.
Oh no, I mean, we should be careful doing any of the shit that we're doing because it is criminal.
You know,
True.
you brought up a good point, pointing out that Flynn might not be the visage of a pirate, and I don't know that most of us are. Well, some of us aren't very criminal looking, if I do say so myself. Maybe that's something the lady downstairs could help us out with.
Maybe
You know,
this is also a good
it's-
time to have the conversation. Flynn, I've been watching you, and I think you might have some exterior motives.
Oh,
What?
Ulterior motives.
Eternal motive.
Why
have
do you
some
feel
internal
like
motives.
this is the time to talk about it?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about which gang we want to join. And I think maybe we should talk to everybody and really understand why we're here and what our motivations are.
Well, maybe we shouldn't do it in the apartment of someone who has gone missing when we only have 5 minutes to search.
Okay, then we'll do it later. I don't care. When? Fine.
I'm just saying, like, this woman is expecting us to be leaving soon. Like,
Okay,
Well,
cool.
we got an
We-
hour's walk down to the
Yeah, we can walk and talk.
docks, right? Or wherever we're going.
Should
The
we
Clio.
double check rooms?
Can we?
We did not see anything in our.
Do we have time to double check the room?
No, you do not have
Yeah.
time. You hear Maeve calling up, and she's like, "Okay, now that's about time.
we're coming. Do not worry. we
Thank
are
you,
coming.
thank you."
Shall we?
Let's
Uh,
go.
Yeah.
Also, what do you think a criminal looks like, Raina?
Oh, pirates all had eye patches, and I know I've got a mask over half my face, but that's not exactly an eye patch. Or I don't know. I don't know. That's the problem.
I mean, you don't have to look any special way to be a criminal. This coming from the person who is wearing all black.
Maeve says, "Are we all discussing wardrobe changes?"
We need to look
Yes, we
criminal.
are.
and intimidating a little.
Okay. That's not something I usually get requested.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
But I'm thinking of some ideas. I would need some time to put stuff together. But what kind of vibe are we thinking of?
Well, I can't tell you much, Maeve, but we are on a mission to take care of crime around here. So we need to look like we'd be around that kind of thing. So I don't know. You know the city better than we probably do. Some
You
of
want
us
to look
anyway.
like you're near crime? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No offense to your skills, but I think I am probably set.
Yes. Well, certainly there's nothing that I have here that would upgrade you in that area. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a pinch, I could definitely draw something up. It'd be a little pricier because it'd be a specialty commission. But I mean, if you're really looking for something, I'm sure there's probably some shops down by the docks or something that could get you an eye patch or whatever you might be
Now,
looking for.
you help us out. That'll be great. I'll pay for it.
Okay, great. Well, I will put together some samples and have those drawings for you probably by tomorrow. Does that work?
That's fine with me. How much will it cost?
Well, it won't cost anything for the drawings, but I can give you a price once I've drawn it up. But typically, a custom piece like this would be around 20 gold.
Well, we'll see how much money we can come by today, but you just get started.
Okay, I'll do that. Oh, my first commission. Yes.
While this conversation
She
is
starts
happening-
jotting stuff down.
While this conversation is happening, Fishbait or Shoal would like to take Ruben outside. That's okay.
As you're both heading out, like as you're both making your way to head out, Maeve says, "Really quick, will you two be purchasing garb as well? Because I'd really love to take your measurements before you leave."
No. We are
Okay.
happy with our cloak.
And I'm happy with it too.
You draw something up for him anyway.
Oh,
I might.
Okay, sure. But
It's kind of amorphous. Like, he doesn't really have measurements, so
Yeah.
it's probably going to be easier to find something for him.
She then grabs a measuring tape and runs over and starts measuring the rest of you. As Fishbait, you gesture for Reuben to come outside with you. Reuben, do you comply?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, you both step
If
out
Shoal
into the
has to
busy
take
street.
me outside, I'm sure it's important.
We trust you. We wish to keep the charter dry.
Yeah, I still don't quite know what you mean by that.
You do.
I do.
Yes,
It's the enforcer thing.
it's the Enforcer Creed. It's what they chant.
I quit. I just quit.
Oh, it's okay. Nobody's said it in a while because we
Yeah.
haven't been around any enforcers.
Yeah. All right. I
Except
know
for fish bait
exactly-
over and
Yeah.
over. And
Yeah.
over.
Do you have misgivings towards anyone?
Misgivings?
Yes.
I don't believe so. I don't. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know what we are after. We wish to keep the charter dry and find our plan.
I just have to keep this mission towards its goal, I guess. And if we're not on the same page, then it's a problem.
What page are you on?
Pick a gang, finish the job, get on the inside, learn what we have to learn. Doesn't matter to me. But if everyone's going to disagree, then I'm just going to pick.
Okay. Okay. We just wish you to know that we are on your side. You seem hurt. We don't like that.
Oh, no hurt. I'm just a grumpy old man.
We wish you weren't grumpy.
It happens to all of us.
Well, you have a friend in us. And
We're gonna try to go and hug Ruben.
Evade that hug. Can I roll an athletics check to do a really cool evasion?
Sure, if you'd like.
A
Yes.
backflip
Alright, cool.
out of this hug.
And I fell on the ground.
Oh no.
You're getting hugged.
And then
You're getting hugged.
check to hug harder. So now we're on the ground hugging. It looks really weird. I fell over and I'm kind of like squirming, and there's just a mound of bugs on top of me.
we will help you up.
Okay.
And as we help you up, we will embrace you in a hug.
I could. Can you call off the one going in my ear, please?
We are just trying to learn you more. We are sorry.
It's all right. Oh.
Reina,
Now
I
it's
really
super
don't
all
think
right.
that this is necessary. Like, I already wear black. Like, why do I need to have a whole criminal outfit?
Well, I mean, we don't know what we're going to come up against. You wear black, but you might not be a pirate. You might not be a. What if the Grey Bloods wear, purple? We gotta. It'll be fun. Just trust me. And it's her first commission. We're supporting local businesses.
Maeve is like, I've done plenty of commissions before for family and friends, out of my wagon, down at the Boatleg Market, but this is my first time in a formal shop setting. It's very exciting.
You're going to do great.
I know.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Just don't make me look stupid.
Well, I'll let you see it before you buy it.
Hmm.
And with that, your measurements are all taken. And you are all able to go outside and join Ruben and Shoal, their hug having been completed.
No,
But
it's
I
still
heard to
going.
say
No,
their
it's
hug
still
is
happening.
ongoing.
Well, the timing worked out.
Yeah. So
I want
Ruben is
people to
still
react to this.
half consumed by the hug of Shoal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I ignoring you, ma'am?
Are you all
Alright.
done?
I believe so. Yeah. So we're heading to the docks.
Yeah.
To check out this steel
The
that's
Clio.
just the Clio's area, but not the Clio itself.
So Cliff Down Row is actually it's pretty well known. It's like the one major road that connects the docks by land to the rest of Toraigh. Actually, all 3 of those wagons that you had just seen probably all came up Cliff Down Row. And so you head through the winding streets of the Midtown Cross until you come out and leave the looming buildings behind on the southeastern side of the city. And the cobblestone leads to gravel, which eventually leads to dirt. As you begin walking now, these kind of wider, bare paths. You can see off on your right-hand side the farmlands and the city plaza, which is a large series of governmental structures in the center of the farmlands known as the estates. The path then crosses through a section of wall, through another one of those oval kind of gates. This one not guarded by any particular heavy enforcer presence. And then you begin a very, very steep descent down about 150 feet or so of the cliffside, heading down towards the bay that is in this little inlet that makes up the docks. And you guys are free to conversate as you're walking here. Continue your conversation from before.
So, Ruben, you wanted to know why we were all here more?
It just feels like Flynn is really trying to get in with the pirates. Does he have a problem with the gang we've chosen?
No, I didn't know we had chosen one. I'm okay with Grey Bloods. I'm just trying to get as much information on all 3 as possible.
And also, we don't know specifically if this crime that we even do will be noticed by the Grey Bloods. It might be noticed by someone else, and getting all the information we can is probably a good idea.
Can I insight check Flynn?
Sure.
All right. I don't know.
I kind of wanted to do that too, but if you're gonna do it, we'll be in cahoots, I guess.
You might want to also do it. My insight,
I guess,
is the best.
Yeah, and
since Ruben was asking, I think it's only fair for him to make an insight check too. Oh,
oh Jesus!
I agree. I think Ruben should do it.
Yeah, I definitely think I should do it.
The dice give it, and the dice take it away.
Well, I found a piece of paper, so.
No, we're very happy for that.
Ruben,
otherwise we would have gone nowhere with our rolls.
Ruben, this guy is just genuinely trying to take in. He's a sponge for information. He's trying to take in as much information as he can. And
super enthused about that too.
Tell me everything.
And then
what amazing! How much have you got information about everything? That's crazy. You're really good at taking information. You're like a sponge.
Yeah, I try to talk to people and ask questions. I know that can be a little annoying sometimes, but we'll probably never meet these people again, so I get as much as I can.
And Flynn, you can feel free to either say out loud or directly message to Raina exactly what's going on with you with that natural 20 insight check. You should be able to do it in Fantasy Grounds with a whisper, but you can also do it over Discord if that's easier for you.
I'll Discord.
Cool. You can whisper in Fantasy Grounds?
Can you also send it to me just so I know?
Yes.
I mean, I know, but I want to be sure that what you're saying is what I expect.
This isn't like super important for right now, so we can keep going while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I just know.
Yeah, so as you guys are getting further down the cliffs, you can see now this gigantic kind of cityscape that is the Docks District. It literally looks like a kind of pirate kingdom. There are large buildings that are built to look like the hulls of ships or the decks of ships jutting out from the cliffside. You can see the eastern ledge wharfs are kind of these gigantic piers that are hundreds of feet above the ground with large cranes on top of them, dangling hooks hundreds of feet below. And then in the actual bay itself, some of the largest, most glorious ships you have ever seen, all docked very close to the central kind of what would be the downtown area of the docks. As you go further down, you pass on your left this gigantic stone abbey with several wings to it. It looks like it's got a large stone wall on the outside, and you pass a pathway that would lead off in that direction. And it says the Shoaling School Orphanage on it. And you go further down Cliff Down Row, and then there finally is another sign off to the left that says Western Ledge Wharf. You take that left and you begin hiking up now, back up the cliffs that you just descended, but further along the inlet. When you finally get to the top where it's no longer a slope, you see this long row of varying heights of warehouses and buildings. Each one is kind of walled off from the road, and behind it you can see, as you're ascending, the similar piers that are hundreds of feet high, just like the ones you saw opposite the bay. And you begin seeing the signs on each of the warehouses that have the names of the ships that are docked there. It's a busy street. There's tons of pirates and sailors walking about. You see several enforcer patrols walking by. And you walk almost all the way to the edge where you're almost approaching back towards that gigantic bridge that you cross to get into the city. But before you do finally arrive at a warehouse that has a sign hanging from the front of it that says the Clio. What would you like to do?
The Clio's a weird name for a warehouse. I didn't really expect this, but it looks like we found it.
Do we think the steel is in the warehouse?
That was the impression we got from that conversation, right?
You heard that they were sitting on the docks outside the warehouse.
Okay. That was last night, though. So, I mean, it could be. I suppose it seems pretty reckless to just leave something worth that much just sitting on the docks.
I guess we could look and kind of make a scope and see if it is still on the docks, and if so, if there's guards or what.
Yeah. How easy would it be to get back there or see?
Yeah, so go ahead and make a perception check.
You're not getting on my desk again.
Had some good cat cameos this episode.
She is being an attention seeker. Just wants to steal the limelight.
So the warehouse is about 20 feet tall, and even higher than the warehouse itself are the wooden gates, the wooden walls on either side of it. It's not clearly visible from the pedestrian side of the ledge wharfs what is on the opposite side. The building has a central door and then two windows, one on either side of it. You can see kind of curtains drawn over one of them currently. Anything else you'd like to know?
Are there guards around?
So there are enforcers patrolling the walkway that you guys are on, but you don't see any guards outwardly standing protecting the warehouse itself currently.
That sounds promising.
How confident are we that we would be able to get into this place? By show of hands, who thinks that we could actually do that?
I think it's worth trying, and if we fail, like, starts to get us some notoriety.
Yeah.
If we fail, it gives us notoriety for being fuck ups.
And then we can go to the cave.
And arrested.
Yes, but it shows we're willing to do dangerous things.
I guess. What time of day is it now? Like midday, probably?
Yeah, it's about 1 p.m.
Do we think this is gonna have to be a night thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
100%.
Yeah, there's
That's-
like hundreds of people are walking the streets right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Hmm.
So what do we do until then, I guess?
Should we case the joint?
I mean, this kind of is us casing the joint. We can't really case it much more, can we?
We
I could
By all
try
means.
sneaking about.
You know, if you want to try to case the joint, I will not stop you. They'll just stay here looking real casual.
Well, I'm thinking, I don't know, I could do something, but then I don't want to like blow it by rolling bad. Yeah, never mind.
Where are you guys about now in comparison to the warehouse itself? Are you 10 feet away, 20 feet away?
Maybe
Are you
across
just
the
across the street?
Probably. Or
across
like
the street.
Okay,
we're like checking that, but like trying not to be like super like ooh
Looking
let's have
casual.
yeah.
Yep.
Trying to blend in, look normal.
Casual.
Sure. Yes. Roll a casual check. No.
Every time
no.
you do that, I'm like,
So casual.
really? Is that?
I
don't know
literally
that
had to look
stat
for
and
forensics.
Oh.
Forensics check.
No, with the size of the crowds, with you guys not outwardly doing anything that seems criminal, you're not drawing much attention by just kind of. There isn't anything on the other side of the ledge wharfs because it's just rock and then the wall that separates the docks from the rest of the city.
Mhm.
So you guys are able to just kind of lean against the rocks and chill.
Is anyone else doing the same as us?
Make a perception check.
Oh no. Oh, why the hell not?
Yeah. You see there all the way down the line, there are different groups of sailors and pirates that are just kind of, it looks like they're eating lunch or drinking, sitting on the rocks that border the roadway here.
But no one looks like they might also be kind of like casing the joint, just us.
It doesn't look like anybody else is casing the joint currently, no.
Do the folks from last night, are they anywhere to be seen?
Roll a perception check.
Can I just ask Anna with her good perception?
That's not what Anna was looking for.
Shucks.
Oh shit! I mean, if you would have told me, I would have like made it. You know, I would have tried to look a little harder. But
Oh,
well,
it's okay.
it doesn't
I got
matter.
this. I'm We're good.
Successful pursuit.
So it's very difficult to see you're not seeing much activity in the warehouse itself.
Mhm.
You imagine that if you were to spend a period of time here, you might see people coming and going.
Mhm.
But because it is in the middle of the day, you don't see anybody coming in or out currently.
So, what was your plan then, Shoal? If you wanted to scope this place out, what were you going with?
Well, we could leave our urn with you and then sneak in through the window and see what is going on. We can fit through small holes and cracks.
You're sounding a little less than usual, Shoal.
Ah. We were trying to be silly to show you how small we can get.
I mean, wow, you sounded
Yeah.
like one thing. That if you can get that small, then damn. But no, yeah, that sounds maybe promising.
It's worth a try. I mean,
Yeah, Shoal, you probably couldn't get through the windows, but you probably could get through the slats in the wall on either side of the building if you wanted to try that.
We would do that.
try to get a look at the docks.
And also, if you can find where the steel is, that would be great. But no, I mean, no pressure. But you know, if we're trying to get into that area and see, like, do what you feel comfortable with. Don't do anything that you think would be, you know, outrightly dangerous to yourself.
we will begin taking off our urn.
We'll
Okay.
hold them.
Is this
Okay.
conspicuous looking?
We are still wearing our cloak.
Okay.
And our cloak is covering most of our body.
Yeah, I suppose
Um,
if you like held up his cloak, and then he could crawl away, and then it would look like he's still standing there.
Like the blanket trick that they do.
Yeah.
yeah, is someone else coming over to the wall to help Fishbait with this, or is Fishbait going alone?
Perhaps.
I'll help.
Okay,
I'll help this.
go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
I just wasted a stealth check. That was a 15.
Oh, rip.
Oh, you rolled it
You
again.
did it
Nice.
again, so it worked out.
Yeah, so you watch as Reuben and Shoal very, very inconspicuously meander over, and Reuben kind of leans back against the wall, kind of casual, like taking up a lot of space as Shoal gets real flat against the wall. And
Little
then
old me
just-
taking up a lot of space. It's like I'm spread out.
Yep, just like, "Ugh." And Shoal gets down and just whooshes right through one of the spaces in between two of the logs that makes up this wall. Joel, you come through on the other side, and you are in a very rocky alleyway. It's about 10 feet wide, and this would be difficult terrain for you to move through if you were moving through it in a hurry. And then you can see down at the edge where the warehouse ends, there is kind of like a boardwalk type series of planks. They look a little rickety, and you can hear some work happening somewhere down there. What would you like to do?
How long is this alleyway?
It's about 40 to 50 feet.
And do we sense anyone?
No, you do not sense anybody.
Okay. We will casually, quietly walk down the alleyway,
Sure.
trying to see if we see anybody or the seal.
Yeah, you come down the exterior of the warehouse. You notice there's no windows on this side of the warehouse. And you get to the corner and make a perception check for me.
Of course, a 20.
Oh, but it
Save
doesn't
the
roll.
odds. Oh,
That's not
Oh.
bad.
Yeah, that's decent. So you can tell with your senses that there is a person standing around the corner, and then they leave your perception as they walk away. You hear many footsteps, probably about 3 to 4 other people that are just walking back and forth along this boardwalk, and kind of talking amongst themselves. You hear one person say, "You think they'll be back before dusk this time?" And the other guy says, "Yeah, they got to be back before dusk. I mean, they're only going out for some fish this time around. Should be easy." And the other one says, "Good. I'm hoping we can move a lot of this before it gets too late." Would you like to take a peek?
we would like to take a peek through the wood. If that's possible.
Yeah, sure. Looking through, you see that the boardwalk runs the extent of the warehouse, and there are multiple sailors armed with long swords that are kind of walking, patrolling the boardwalk. Occasionally, they walk out. There's one pier that extends from the boardwalk that you can see has a series of cranes on it, and occasionally they walk out to the edge and they're kind of looking down into the water, looking out towards the bridge. on the pier itself, you see a series of boxes and barrels all stacked up, and then a large cage that has a bunch of boxes inside of it, that is kind of still on the pier.
Can we tell what is inside the cage or the boxes?
You can't tell exactly what is inside the boxes. All of them are sealed, but they look to be of high value. It looks like this cage is locked, has like a padlock on it.
What are the 4 sailors? What are their races?
These are all toys. There's 2 toy knights with like cloth sailors' caps tied around their helmets, and then a doll and a poppet.
Okay. And there is only one way in and out?
From your angle, you can't really see entrances into the warehouse because you're kind of looking from the warehouse. If you wanted to step out, you would be visible then, but you could take a peek and see what the entrance would look like.
We would like to step out, but more so look to see there's a door leading out to the pier, correct? The boardwalk pier, correct?
You could step out and take a look and find out. Yeah.
Wait, so there's the room,
Yes.
and we're peeking through these slits.
Well, so you're peeking essentially through the corner of the building,
Ah,
instead of sticking out around the corner. So from that vantage point, you're not really able to look back on the building itself and see what doors or windows there might be. But if you were to step out and actually look around the corner, you would be able to see.
we wish to stay inside the warehouse,
Okay.
if possible. And can we just get a good feel of the inside of the warehouse?
So
Or
you're
inside the alley?
Yeah, so
essentially?
do you want to go inside the warehouse, or do you want to get a feel for what's inside the warehouse with your blind sense?
The latter.
Okay. Yeah. With your blind sense, you don't detect anything of note happening within the warehouse, but that's only within the 30 feet of you.
Okay, so just to confirm, we are
Mhm.
in the alley. The rocky
You're in the
alley.
alley. Yep.
Okay. And there is a door to get into the warehouse.
Not that you can see from
Got it.
within, not from from what you can see from the alleyway. There's no doorway in the alleyway. If you were to step out onto the boardwalk and then look back upon the front side, like the shore facing side of the warehouse, you might be able to see if there are any doors or windows there. But because you're peering from the alleyway, kind of around the corner, you can't really look back and see.
Okay. We would like to wait for the guards to pass, be facing the opposite direction.
Sure. Yeah. You wait about 2 minutes, and at one point the patrols all do end up on the other side of you, facing away from you, looking out towards the bridge, and you feel like you have an opportune moment to take a peek out and take a look.
Should we roll a perception?
Roll a perception and a stealth check for me.
There was a 19. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, you step around and you see what look like 2 very large and heavy wooden doors on rollers that open this warehouse up onto the boardwalk. And then you quickly duck back into the alleyway.
We will go back to Reuben.
Okay. Reuben, you're still there, kind of leaning as grandiosely as you can against the wall, and all of a sudden a form begins to fill out the clothes that Shoal left behind, and Shoal has returned.
Oh, look at that. It's like you never left.
We never left.
You didn't. Everyone, he didn't leave.
We saw much. We are excited to share what we found. we'll
Right,
begin
maybe-
walking.
So
Maybe we should, sneak off and find a location that's not in the open. You just
Yeah.
did that, so
Where do we want to go to, I guess, kill time while we're trying to figure out the best time to break in?
should we go back to the inn?
I feel like, is that really far? But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if we're coming back later.
We could go to the cave.
How
I mean,
close is the
we
cave?
don't even know how that is.
The cave is all the way on the opposite exterior of the city, so it would
I
be
hate
quite
to
a
keep
hike.
springing this, but do I know of like a spot?
You don't know of a particular spot. The docks would be the most unfamiliar area for you because the enforcers really try
Right.
to avoid it. But you would know that there would be open bars that you might be able to get into down in the actual docks themselves. It's only just it's an hour and a half jaunt over to the Soak Sail if you wanted to head back there. And then come back in
Well-
the evening time, you could do that.
I could really use a drink. It's about that time, so why don't we go grab one and just talk about his findings?
We
Sounds
haven't
good.
like checked out the rose compass rose yet, right? We were waiting on that. We could go that way.
are
see
we
what
in
that's
the
like.
area? Yeah.
You are in the docks, yeah. So
I know. I don't know if we're necessarily waiting, but I also know that based on what Ruben has told us about it, it doesn't seem very friendly towards non-pirate types.
Mm,
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe during the day it's more lenient. I mean,
That, or maybe it's closed.
Or
I
maybe
mean, I
it's
guess we
just
we
closed,
don't
so-
know. We don't
Yeah.
know. We could always do a swing by just to see
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's there.
We might as well walk by. I mean, I don't know if we want to be, if we're trying to talk in a place where we're not going to draw much attention.
Oh no, I'm not saying we talk there. I'm saying
Yeah.
we just look there.
All right.
Last thing we
walk on
need is
by.
for us to have a conversation about this someone else here, and then they steal our prize. You know what I mean?
Well, we do think that there are more time-sensitive options that we should consider.
Oh.
Oh,
Like
But
your cave.
We need to discuss what we found.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do. So do I mean? Do we? Are you saying that you would rather go back to our hotel, talk about that, than scope out the compass rose?
We think we should stick to one thing at a time
That's valid.
Ah.
Okay.
because we may want to move sooner rather than later.
Is there a bar in our sights?
not on the ledge wharfs, but you imagine if you went back down to Cliff Down Row and continued down, you'd find a bar pretty quickly.
I guess let's go to the nearest one and we can talk about what we found. So we're not too far away, but we are less likely to draw attention to ourselves.
This is going down towards the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I think that is a good time for us to take a quick break. Let's meet back up here in 15 minutes. We'll be right back to head towards a bar and discuss our findings.
All
All
right.
right. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Troubles in Toraigh. Our party is heading down from the ledge wharfs in the docks district of Toraigh, descending back to Cliff Down Row, which is a large descending cliffside path that heads down to the central area of the docks. As you descend further in now, you can see there are a number of establishments that are fairly close to where Cliff Down Row ends. Off to the left-hand side, you see a building that is only one floor. It looks like it's made almost out of driftwood, with the exception of a sign that is hung on what looks to be a single plank of a hull that is kind of curved and bent. Hanging from it is a sign that has painted on it the Rock Bottom Bar. And it has kind of a driftwood door that doesn't quite reach all the way down to the floor or to the top of the door frame that covers it.
This good spot.
Seems as
Shall
good as
we?
any. Yeah.
Okay.
You head inside, and it is rather dark inside. It seems like the wood has almost been stained to be dark on the inside. It's about 2 p.m. at this point, and so the bar's only slightly full. It is full mostly with Fomorians, all of them drinking out of these large wooden kind of stein-looking mugs. You see a couple of trolls, an ogre, a wolven, most of them kind of paired off in different corners of the room. And then there is a bar along the left-hand side of this large square room. And behind it, you see a tall green ogre with a horn strapped to his head, coming out of the left-hand side of his head. And he kind of looks up as you all walk in and gives you a quizzical look really quickly and then just kind of a nod and says, "What can I get you?"
A round for the group, if you please.
Round.
And anyone hungry?
So
No.
full on that bacon.
Then yeah, just a round.
Good ale will fill you up.
1 silver for the round.
Can do.
And then you all take a seat.
We would like to sit as far away from others as possible.
Yeah, there is a corner on the right-hand side, kind of closest to the door, that is still unoccupied that you're able to sit at. And you see that the ogre lumbers over to you, and you can see he has his right leg is a peg leg. And he kind of hobbles over and places the 5 steins in front of you on the table and says, "Enjoy."
So used to
Walks
Shoal referring to himself as us that I was like offended for a second. I was like, we're gonna sit. No, you have the information. Okay, but you meant us as a collective group. I got you.
Yeah,
That's
he's
funny.
not gonna sit with us. He's like, I'm not.
Not these people.
So, first, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Wait, as someone who did some eavesdropping about this last night, can we keep an ear out and just make sure no one's someone keep an eye out.
We will
Make sure
keep
no.
multiple eyes.
I'll I'll perceive the room if that's okay.
Yeah.
Why am I guessing? What? Yeah. So to keep like a close ear.
Yeah, Fishbait, you could do the same.
Yes, please, thank you.
Sorry, if I'm cutting you off.
No, you're all good.
Do we have to roll?
Yeah.
I would offer to keep an eye out myself, but I'm not the most perceptive person, so
I have a very small set of skills, and that I'm really good at, and the rest of them I am dog shit.
Oh dang, you have better perception than me. I was like, that's why I keep saying I'll perceive because I'm like I'm good at that.
I mean,
But I'm not as
we'll
good as you.
we'll gladly take it because it's still better than +1.
both of you have excellent perception.
For both of you, at a cursory glance, it looks like pretty much everybody is trying to keep to themselves here, and they're trying to have quiet conversations with their comrades. You don't see anybody who's making a play on getting ears on your information.
Okay. Let's hear it.
We
His head is gone.
rounds.
He kind of looks like a fish bait.
We would like to quietly whisper everything that occurred.
Sure.
And
You guys now know everything Fishbait knows.
Wait, I think you said it a little too quiet because you were so stealthy. Never mind.
I didn't even see you. What?
We think that it may be difficult to go in first because of the rolling doors. And we think that we may have a fight, and instead we may want to go down to the water and go with those who are going up, who were supposed to be there before dusk. And that may be our best means of entrance and exit.
Okay. Do we? You didn't hear anything about who these people are that they're supposed to be there before dusk?
We did not.
No.
How? Maybe if just, I don't know. Do you think it's going to be risky to try to blend in with people like that?
We do not know. But we may also want to attract attention as we are trying to be found.
This might be a
I
little
don't
bit
know
of
if we're necessarily trying to be found. We're just trying to be known. There's a little bit of a
Yeah.
difference there, but
We could leave our calling card, the skeletons,
oh no.
Didn't we come up with a name last
the
time?
skeleton crew.
That's
did
what
say
it was.
that was what we called ourselves, unfortunately.
Fortunately. That's
I
a good
kinda like it. Yeah.
I already got it on a shirt.
You've already made the shirts, or did you make yourself a shirt?
I hold up just like my pillowcase from the inn, and I've drawn the skeleton crew on it.
Maybe that nice girl can make us some proper shirts. With
Or
the
like
skeleton
Biker jackets.
crew. Yeah.
Biker jackets.
maybe if we have
Maybe-
like just an insignia of like a skull or something.
Maybe instead of joining a gang, we could make a
We
gang.
just make our own.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure skulls aren't taken. We can probably hop on that.
I mean, if a gang called Black Paws can take off,
or
Did they take off?
Yeah.
or
They
We
got
make-
taken off.
we did. We make it just a skeletal hand that's like this.
I'm like,
Perfect.
we got to go back to Navy ASAP. We have ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put that on, the back burner to think about.
Yeah, we gotta steal this steel, so we have money to pay her to make those things.
Yep.
All right. Oh boy. This feels daunting to
Yeah.
how are we
Yes.
gonna blend in with people we don't know anything about?
That is the question, isn't it?
He could take them over.
well, Raina, I've seemed to notice that you have really good people skills, and Shoal and I can blend into the floor like spicy mice. So maybe we do the sneaking, and you do
I
the
was-
talking.
Just thinking spicy mice. That was the other way. We also just kind of blew over Shoal's suggestion of taking them over. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we could have two approaches at the same time. We could have the spicy mice and
Spicy mice.
the boat underneath, where people take over the boats of whoever is going up, and that could be the means of escape. While Ruben and us, Ruben and me,
Us.
Ruben and us, find the steel.
We and Ruben?
We
Wait, so
Damn the common language. It's garbage.
while we find this deal, you all can be procuring our means of escape.
I just say I'm so happy that spicy mice is catching.
Like a house fire.
I'm starting to really like this plan. Okay, so if I understand it right, we have Raina talking to them. We have Flynn. Or no, I'm Flynn. We have Joel and Ruben sneaking in and blending in with the floor as mice. And then Anna
Spicy mice.
and I are taking over the boat that's going to go up and going in place of them. Does that all check out?
It's an idea.
Okay,
It's better than anything I've got, so
I like it.
All right.
it's probably best I don't talk to people. It seems I'm garbage at that.
I do want to be clear. I don't know that I'm good at talking to people as much as I just am lucky. But
You got that very nice southern hospitality quality to you, where
I
you,
s-
you seem so friendly.
I
I
You
should
seem
feel
like
like-
everyone's mum.
I saw how much you intimidated Navy. I think you can get some real headway with these.
We agree.
And when it fails, Anna, you do the punching. And Flynn, you do whatever it is you do.
wait. So the three of us are going on a boat, and then Shoal and Ruben are going to be spicy mice. That's how we're going
I
to do this.
see no issues with this. Yeah.
Let's do it. How we got to find the
Oh.
boat.
We were
Spicy
thinking
mice
maybe
and team boat.
more spicy mice than boaters.
Split the party.
It's just more efficient that way.
If we cannot
Let us
secure
all
the
die.
grain, then we cannot bring the boat up.
You need more spicy mice.
We need spicy mice. We are the mice, you are the spice.
Who are you electing for your spicy mice team? Or are you saying like boat is plan A? If plan A doesn't work, spicy mice is like part of plan A, but mostly plan B?
We don't know. We have not thought that far.
Well, I'm pretty sure the sneaking part is kind of the most important thing.
I mean, I'm not bad at sneaking.
I'm pretty good at sneaking myself.
shit rolls.
So we have like a herd of spicy mice, and then Raina is talking.
To the boat people.
Yeah.
We shouldn't leave Reina alone.
Shouldn't I
Yeah.
be an enforcer?
I can join the spicy mice team, and then it can be Anna and Reina with the boats.
I'll be
would like-
honest. Anna and I are generally the ones that can get hit more than the rest of y'all.
We agree. We may need to do some heavy lifting. And you look like a little boy.
Who is that too?
I mean, you.
We have a little boy. and
I
an
just
old
wanted
man.
to check.
We must
Okay.
protect our son. He's
I'm
our
like-
precious boy.
I'm like 30, but okay.
And you are also much taller than us.
Yeah.
I mean, by how much?
Half a foot.
Right.
Okay.
How tall?
All right.
Oh goodness. All right.
So
I mean, I am
we should
currently
swap-
5'11".
we should swap Anna and
Pretty tall.
myself.
I
Don't know.
I suppose.
Okay.
You're charismatic, right? I certainly am not.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I've
All
always
right.
enjoyed my interactions with Flynn. He's cool. I think he
So-
can talk to someone and make shapes.
Okay.
Really got all that information out of the card dealer, so
Yeah. So are we all going in on the boat? Or are you three sneaking in and we're going in on the boat?
You're going on the boat and we're sneaking in and we're undetected, and you guys are going in getting the information.
The information being where the steel is.
Yeah, right?
Okay. I just
I guess-
wanted to
and
be
or
clear.
possibly the steel itself.
So we're
Right.
gonna meet up on the dock, essentially.
You're going to handle anybody that'll get in our way. How about that? So, like, if anybody detects a couple of spicy mine.
We were thinking to bring the boat to take the steel.
Okay. So we're gonna have to find a boat that's going to this warehouse anyway.
Do you?
Right?
I mean, if it's our boat, we can make it go to wherever we
Oh.
want.
A boat is
So-
a boat is a boat.
I've heard that.
We're just gonna
So
go.
the Clio is going to be heading in from out on the ocean. So it would be coming in through underneath the bridge and then just going straight into the dock from there. You imagine.
So we jump
Oh,
onto the Clio. from
Cleo is the
bridge.
boat. That was
thought-
the part that you did not include. Was Cleo was the boat?
The
I
Clio
thought
is the boat.
Cleo was the warehouse.
No, each of the
well-
warehouses has a sign posted on it of what ships are housed there.
Oh,
I was under the impression that this was just like a separate group of people that were
No.
coming for this and not the Cleo.
No,
Okay.
this is the warehouse of the Clio.
Okay.
so
Maybe our idea isn't good then.
We spend so much time on it.
I should also note that it's a 300-foot climb to get from the boat up to the dock.
Right.
But
We
we
did say that earlier.
We have
Or I said that
we
earlier.
just pick them up.
That's true.
wait, how do the people get from the boat to the dock if it's a 300-foot climb?
That's a great question.
And was your suggestion
don't know
that
that.
the boat that we stole to get away was the Cleo?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Do any
Well,
of us know how to sail?
Let's pull this back in for a second. Now, with the whole 300-foot climb I mentioned earlier, why don't we rethink our plan a little bit? Because we were definitely considering that the whole time we've been talking. Why don't we go observe how people get things from boats up to the dock? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
more information.
Get a little bit
is
more
good.
intel.
Well, so
Yeah.
there's cranes.
Oh,
Fishbait mentioned there are cranes.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
But that would
but
probably still include having a boat.
are we
right?
going to steal a crane?
Oh God.
Do they move other than up and down?
It didn't look like it.
Okay.
It
Well-
does not look like it.
Thank you.
Can Shoal just go through the wall again and unlock the door and let us in?
Yes, but we may have a difficult time getting out. It is not very easy.
Okay.
The terrain looks difficult, if you will.
How are you gonna do this?
Clearly, we just yeet ourselves into the water afterwards. That was a joke. I was joking. Nobody take that idea seriously, please.
We thought about it. We don't know if we can fly. We've never tried.
What if were the sailors that were in there wearing uniforms?
They were not.
They were not.
I was just thinking we could just,
Pretend we're dock workers.
yeah, or just knock them out, take their uniforms, and then just walk back out the front door.
But if they're not wearing uniforms,
Yeah.
kind of defeats that purpose. Damn it.
Mm,
We could just live there.
take it over and yeah. our
Also
new
a
base.
joke. This is not serious. Don't think about it, Shoal.
Did we get a sense of how people? So they crane the boat up to the dock thing, the warehouse, and offload the steel into the warehouse.
Typically,
Yeah.
no. Typically, they crane goods off of the
Off
boats.
the boat. That
Yeah,
makes
and
a lot
leave
more
the
sense.
boats down on the water. Yeah.
So they use the crane to move the steel, but once the steel is in the warehouse, do they use like wagons and stuff to move it from the warehouse to where it needs to go from there?
You imagine so, yeah.
Okay.
But the steel's already in the warehouse, correct? Or is it?
Last
Right?
you heard, it was on the docks, but it's been a day, so you can't be sure.
Yeah.
So we should.
So the
have,
dock. So in the docks, that's below where the whole crane situation would come into play?
So it's all elevated. So there's the warehouse that's on the cliffside, and then built off the cliffside is the boardwalk and the pier that has the cranes on it. And then the cranes have like 300 feet of reach, and they reach down and pull stuff up.
But so that would be where it's located as opposed to up.
That's what it sounded like, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to need to take over the crane it up, take over a wagon, load it, and then wagon the steel away. Is that what we're expecting?
It should be already craned up based on what the sailors said.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so
So
we just
we
need
just
a
need to-
wagon.
So we don't need the boat. We just need the warehouse and however we get.
And an escape plan.
And you had said last time when we had asked about it that it's something that's carryable, though, right? Like the amount of steel.
Yeah, it's a pretty small amount of steel. Steel is highly valuable in Toraigh.
How small is small? Is it like I can fit this in my pocket, or we definitely need a wagon?
You don't know.
Fuck. Okay, well, it's worth a shot.
We also do not need to steal all the steel.
Unless it's one piece.
I feel like it would be harder to notice if like
Yeah.
one piece was missing. But yeah, I mean, we can take what we can take, I guess. Did you
Would
notice
it
any
not have
wagons
to-
or anything in the warehouse, Shoal?
You didn't.
We did not.
Okay. Well, then maybe it's not a wagon necessary amount, and we can just carry it.
Or maybe we could come prepared with a wagon just close by.
True.
We should really go find that corpse collector since he was so helpful and take his cart.
True. Yeah.
Or
We could ask Job.
Yeah, we haven't met this Job. You seem to talk about him quite a bit. Is he someone that's around right now that you could just... Does he want to come hang out
No,
and join the heist?
no, that doesn't sound like Job.
Okay.
Job doesn't want to be in the skeleton crew.
He's lost.
how does one get in contact with Job to be able to use his cart?
We know that Job has a cart, right?
Yes, Job has a cart.
How
I
far
thought you were
away
asking
Job-
us.
Yeah, it's
I don't
been
know.
established.
Like,
Job
yeah.
has many carts.
Are we like
Right there
are
in
we
his
far away
backpack.
from the graveyard?
It would be like an hour trip. It's on the estates, which is kind of that farmland that you saw off in the distance when you were walking down here.
Is there just like a place around here that we could rent a cart from
Or steal.
or steal
Steal to steal to steal.
or buy? I don't know.
What time is it right now? Because there's a lot of things
It's
we gotta
about
do.
3 in the afternoon.
Okay, we
Yeah.
got plenty of time.
Yeah, we have time. Let's go meet Job and see if he'll lend us a cart.
I'm excited to either be excited or disappointed by this Job character.
Do you think
Maybe we
he'll?
don't want to disappoint Job.
Oh,
Okay, that's valid. So no Job.
Oh. Oh. Would Job be upset with us?
no, we're
We're criminals.
Not
We're-
yet. Oh, okay, maybe a little.
To be clear, we're not like real criminals.
We're not like known criminals, though.
we're pretending to be criminals.
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
yes, I am a criminal.
Oh, well.
You're in good company. though.
I
We
am
kill
actually a
people.
criminal.
We
I mostly
kill
just-
people.
But they were other criminal. I mean, they were criminals.
Other
It-
criminals.
To be fair, it was
we
in
bad guys.
no.
No.
To be fair, that was self-defense.
Are we the
Yeah.
baddies?
Are we the drama? Drama. Yes, we did kill some people, but it was in self-defense.
You know what? Who needs a wagon? Let's just try to sneak back out. This will be fine.
Are we going to kill the people in there?
We
Uh,
don't have to if we do it right.
They
mean,
attack. Yeah.
Well, you also don't have to kill everyone. You can,
And
We can just-
incapacitate them,
Tie them up.
exactly.
make them
Yeah.
sleep, but
Now
not
what's
the
our first
forever
move?
sleep.
Not
Let's-
forever.
Let's figure out the first move.
Not the
and then
forever
Let's
sleep.
move.
We'll tell them the skeleton crew did it, and then they can spread the word, and we'll be even more notorious.
We like that idea.
We're going to die.
So we have a few hours. Should we try to find a wagon since there's nothing else really to do until then, or just keep drinking?
If
We
we
think you
see,
should get disguises.
Disguises.
I think
But I thought
We should
you were
have
already
matching
working on this.
clothes.
maybe we should get some lockpicks. If any,
Mm.
does anyone have any? Because it sounds like there's a cage that the valuable things might be in. It sounds like we might need to pick some locks.
I
I
have
have a crowbar.
thieves' tools. Are lockpicks part of thieves' tools?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
thieves'
I
tools
think
are
so. Yeah.
the same.
So yeah, I have some.
Okay. Do we need any other thieving equipment? Is that
You have a crowbar.
I have a crowbar.
I
well?
also have a crowbar for some reason.
We
Do we
can.
want- Is it okay for your identities to be known? We cannot be seen under our big cloak. But what about you?
Doesn't affect me too much.
I mean, if we're supposed to become notorious, to join
People
the
in
gang.
these pots don't really know much about the enforcers, so I'm pretty much. It doesn't
So-
really matter.
I
Why
mean,
did
what I look like can definitely change at some point, depending on the situation.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Why do the enforcers avoid this area?
Jurisdiction, right? It's just jurisdiction.
It's just that the Golden Grin kind of keep to their own laws here, and the enforcers don't really come down here unless they have to.
Okay.
But I am into conspiracy theories. I think there might be some kind of deal that they have, and they don't want any of our laws over here.
That's
And the enforcers, and Ruben would know, the enforcers do still patrol the ledge wharf, but they are not responsible for guarding the warehouses, and they don't guard the warehouses. But if they were to be alarmed or called to a warehouse, they would come and then enforce the law.
So we better be on our best behavior anyway.
We are just afraid of
You know.
attracting unwanted attention in the future.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
We do not blend in very
I mean,
well.
we could
We have
always
the
do a
giant green girl. We have the giant smoke monster.
not
We
always
have
be
a
smoke
6 foot tall
monster.
little boy and an old man rabbit, an old man sucking, and us.
Skeleton crew.
Always a smoke monster.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go meet this job then.
We could get like stuff to just like cover our mouths.
Mm.
Alright.
I mean, I'm sure I have something like that already.
You all have cloaks that you could use to wrap around your faces if you wanted to.
All right.
then I
So-
guess we're just killing time.
Finding a
Right.
cart or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I guess we're finding a cart.
Yeah. Can
Do
we?
what one does when you want to find a cart.
But also, I guess like finding where we'd be able to enter with said cart.
I mean, I feel like maybe if we get a cart, we stash it in a nearby alley or something, and then when we get out, we just load it up.
Okay, that's valid. Yeah.
Maybe we should put like a decoy thing on the cart, so when people see us, it looks like we're carting with purpose, and they're not wondering what are they going to do with that cart.
We put some corpses onto the cart and pretend to be body. What was the title?
Body collector.
Corpse.
Body collectors.
Corpse collector. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could pretend to be
And-
corpse collectors.
Where are we finding the corpses?
Or we're getting
When?
it from the graveyard.
I thought we weren't going to go to the graveyard because Shoal doesn't want to disappoint Joe.
Maybe once we have the seal, we can ask Joe very nicely. But we are afraid. We don't want to disappoint Joe. Joe was very nice to us.
Okay.
Fine
Alright.
with me.
All right, so we're gonna rely mostly on our sneaking abilities then.
Sounds like it.
Everybody's a spicy mice.
That's our new name.
Spicy mice.
A spicy mice skeleton crew.
All right, let's go get a cart.
Okay. Where do you like to go to get a cart? Would you like to?
Can we
What a
ask the
great
barkeeper?
question.
Well, I assume that people have to haul things from the docks, so why don't we first spot? Let's go check out the docks.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Or
Like
the
it.
area around the docks, leading up to the docks, anywhere
Yeah.
where there
Anywhere
might be
there's like a path where
cart
like you could
sellers.
have a car. Yeah, there you go.
We'll check the cart paths for
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just start walking that way, and when we see someone we look like we could rent a cart from.
Yeah. So
See, that's
you.
my cart.
My
Yeah.
cabbages.
So you leave the rock bottom bar, and head further down the slopes into the kind of promenade that is the docks area. It's a very, very long and flat section that must have been shore at one point, but has now been built up with stone and cobblestone, connecting with piers that go out to these very, very large ships. As you approach, you can see that each of the piers are heavily guarded by Fomorian pirates, who are all kind of standing in pairs on either side of the entryway to the piers. But when you first enter the docks, you can see there are some stands that are like vendor stands selling goods. And you can see some of the pirates are bringing wagons of goods up to these stands and filling them with, sacks of grain and other materials, and then bringing them back to the docks. One of you would like to make a perception check.
I would. Can I just do it? We don't have to decide on who, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I vote Shoal and Ruben.
Only
make
two.
But if you click it, does it just go?
Yeah.
Oh. We did not know. I did not know that.
Picturing
Oh,
Jake in
seriously.
class, just like, we have a question. I mean,
I am. Ruben, you spot a stand that is kind of covered with a red cloth, and then it has a number of different fruits and other food materials all laid out on it, and it has a cart next to it that it doesn't look like is being used by anybody. And you can see it looks like there is a harpy behind the cart. Not behind the cart, but behind the stand, kind of waiting for passersby to pick up, a piece of fruit.
I approached the harpy. Is there anything anybody else wanted to do with their perception before I enact this scene?
No. I mean,
Okay.
you got the highest. Shoal rolled like 5 times, so
Oh,
qualifying is rolling.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there. What are you selling? This looks mighty quaint.
Oh yeah, you want some food?
You've a
How about some
beautiful,
bread?
beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, why don't you show me what kind of bread you got?
Oh, you have some rye? Do you like rye bread?
I'm
This
quite
rye
partial.
bread's only 2 copper.
2 copper for some rye. All right. You know what? I'll take 2 rye, okay?
All
And then,
right.
hey, since I'm such a great customer, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I noticed this vacant cart you have right here. What do you use that for?
I use it for transporting my food.
Oh, how often do you have to do hauls? I'm asking because I'm in the business myself, and I just want to get an idea.
I bring my food down here every day and then bring it back every day to make sure it's not stolen.
I have a proposition. If my crew helps you haul Beck, can we borrow your cart tonight and then bring it back to you?
What for?
Well, we have a hole of our own, and since we're kind of like a bread startup, we don't really have the necessary stuff to do it, and so we just need to borrow one. And to prove that I'm good for it, I'll take a third rye.
Make a persuasion check, please.
What do you think of that?
That's pretty non-specific, but it'd be a lot more than another piece of rye just to rent a cart. I'm also out of rye.
I kind of wave on the rest of everybody, and because I assume I just kind of walked away from everyone.
Yeah, everyone else is kind of moseying over behind you.
We see Reuben motion us, and we go to take the cart.
No.
Hey!
No, don't do that.
Hands off! Fish bait!
He means well.
We thought that you worked it out.
No,
We're still working it out, love.
we're discussing, and if you'd like to work this out, we could probably find a way to. What do you want? What would make you want to give your cart to a bunch of strangers? I mean, we all look like good citizens.
I don't know. You're pretty non-specific about your intentions. I say 1 gold.
I didn't want to tell you this because it's kind of embarrassing. But you see old fish bait here?
Oh, I see him.
Yeah.
Hard to miss that one.
His grandmother just died. And we just need to get his grandmother's fruits and bread to the docks tonight. It's very important.
Roll a deception check.
I thought you were about to tell this person that, oh yeah, we're gonna use your cart to move a dead
For a
body.
robbery.
Oh no.
I was like, yeah, we're gonna use the cart. That
It was
you
supposed to be a
transport all your
diversion of
food.
expectation.
Yeah.
We're actually undercover enforcers that are trying to fucking get our way to a crew. Yeah.
That's, I don't think your kind even has grandmothers. 2 gold.
Oh, just 2 gold then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm 100% down
You're
for
gonna
that.
bring it back after, right?
100%. Yeah.
I need it by tomorrow morning to get the fruit back here.
You'll have it by tomorrow morning, I promise.
All right.
Your British accent is like really making me confused. I'm like going all over the place.
Sorry, I don't mean to muff your bluff.
Oh god.
Okay, it's perfect. Thank you.
What time are you going to be picking up?
A little bit before dusk. Gets too dangerous down here. Pirates get rowdy.
And I kind of turned back and I'm like, is that going to give us enough time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will give us plenty of time.
Maybe it's good that the pirates get rowdy too, because if we need to disappear, I don't know, probably be easier to blend into a bunch of rowdy folks than a quiet street, you know?
She says quietly to just the food.
Quietly enough.
Okay. She hands out her kind of clawed hand expectantly.
All right, and I carefully count out 1, 2,
Yeah.
and
She sticks
All right.
in her cleavage.
let's eat some bread. I guess I don't know why I purchased this. This
Yeah,
was pointless.
make sure you make sure you take 2 gold and 4 copper out of your inventory.
And
Yeah.
put 2 rye into your inventory.
Yes, and put 2 loaves of rye.
I don't have a spot for copper. Oh, I got to do some math. Is it 10 copper per silver?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maybe take the cart now.
not
No,
yet.
no, I need it now. You come back at dusk and you help me move my goods.
We can do that.
Wait, we are giving you free labor and 2 gold. We just want the cart.
That was the deal.
Just let it. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
If you're
Where
not
do
going to
you
help me,
live?
it'll be more.
Where do you live?
Oh, I live just a ways up by the cliff down row.
How
Do
long?
I? Yeah. Wait. Do I know
Yeah,
in relation to where we're going?
She's
Can I follow
describing
this?
pretty close to where you guys were at the bar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a few blocks over from where the Rock Bottom bar is.
easy.
So I'll see you at sundown.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of cackles to herself.
Insight check. Yeah, I want to do that.
Go for it.
That cackle.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
no.
That's just awesome. Oh, that cackle is normal. Typical hoppy cackle. I hear that all the time. Don't worry
Yep.
about it.
Mm.
Now clear off. You're going to scare away paying customers.
I'm a paying customer, but okay, we're gonna leave.
You already paid.
Guess we just
All right.
shoot the shit while we
Yeah.
wait till dusk to help
Eat some rye.
As we
Woman
walk
with-
away, Fishbait would like to say, we do not wish to give back the cart. We don't want to give back the cart. We just bought it for 2 gold.
I pat Fishbait on the back and I go, I think we might be getting really good at stealing.
We agree.
What are we gonna do with the cart?
Steal iron, steal.
I mean, besides that,
Steal a magical tincture from a cave with purple roses.
Joel could use it to carry his urn.
True.
so we're just gonna go around the city at all times with this cart that we stole.
Maybe the folks at the maybe Dusty will let us keep it at the inn.
Is there cart parking outside the inn?
Yeah. I mean, there was that alleyway where we fought the Black Palm boys.
Yeah, they're not using it anymore.
Yeah. Now it's the skeleton crew.
Is that your guy's name? Is that official? You guys going with that?
I mean, instead of the spicy mice.
I mean, the spicy mice is a mood. It's
The spicy
It's
mice,
a
I feel like,
vibe.
is a maneuver. The skeleton crew is the actual crew name.
Yes. That.
I guess that seems to be what we've stuck with.
if you're on the skeleton crew and you're sneaky, you're a spicy mouse. And
Sounds
it's
good.
that's all.
All right. You all pass the time doing what? You return to the Rock Bottom Bar. You just kind of hang out at the
Kicking
pier.
rocks and touching trees.
Yep.
And
the-
Rye.
The sun begins to set, and you return to the docks to find the harpy lady filling her cart with the leftover boxes of food. And she says,
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, we really need that cot.
She's all right. Take a handle.
We help with the cart.
and she kind of flaps her wings and kind of flies in front of you all, leading the way, just a few feet off the ground.
Hmm.
And she's
I
like,
always thought harpies were flightless birds. Now I know.
she
I always
says,
thought they had beautiful voices.
Now that's a
That's-
stereotype.
Oh, it's so nice to be free. Not to be weighed down on the trip back home. A lovely commute.
she kind of hums to herself as she flaps along.
I would like to quietly say to the group, out of her earshot if possible. So it sounds like if we keep this car, we're doing her a favor. We're setting her free.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
I feel like I should feel bad about y'all wanting to keep this. And I really feel like normally my conscience would, but she was kind of rude about saying fish bait wouldn't have a grandmother. And
Well, that's why it's embarrassing, right? Because he's like the only one to have one.
Also, she originally was only going to charge us 1 gold.
yeah,
She can buy a new cart for gold.
I just
Right.
got a
Do
nasty
we know
vibe.
how much carts normally cost?
It costs 2 gold
Doesn't
now.
seem like it. No.
feel like
Doesn't
if
seem-
What, 10 gold? Easy.
You know what? We're owning this mistake.
What? We haven't
I'm
made no
glad
Well, it
you
might be.
decided.
It may or may not be a mistake. I don't know. But
Alright. So have we helped this woman bring her stuff back?
Yes. Yep. And you unload it. You come to like what is essentially a hovel. It's like kind of a shanty-esque building. And it has a little kind of like half shed that juts off the side of this one room kind of square hut. And she throws it open and starts stacking boxes. She says, "Come help me stack." And starts stacking boxes of fruit, and
quickly.
boxes of bread.
If
And
she lives in a hovel, I feel a little bad.
wait, did you say that in your?
The player feels bad, but
and she says,
All right, now here's your cart. Bring it back in the morning, okay? This is my
Okay.
livelihood.
This
Yep,
morality
it's
roller
all in the
coaster
deal.
we're on right now.
I have to say, guys, like we really don't need a cart.
I mean, we also don't have to feel bad about just bringing it back after we're done.
Yeah, I mean, she
was
was
that?
rude.
But like you said, we will bring it back when we are done.
Sounds good. That's what we agreed to. So, yes.
That's
All
what we
right.
agreed to. I feel like we should roll a deception check because of how weird we're being.
I'm not being weird at all.
No, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
honestly,
We don't do it.
It's fine. The deal has been made.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you all walk off with your cart and proceed back up Cliff Down Row towards the Ledgeworths to stash
Find
it
a place
away
to
before
stash
you
it?
begin your caper.
Oh God.
Oh
And
boy.
that is where we will end our episode here. We will resume with your stealing the steel.
We're so fucked.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's fine. It's gonna be fine.
We're so well prepared. We have an entire cart.
We have an entire cart and we have a spicy mice.
Yeah.
We have maneuvers. We have a name. We have a like. There's nothing more we could do.
I was gonna say, out of all that planning, we got so little.
We just need 4 more pillowcases to write Skeleton Crew on, and then we got a crew.
All right, and we will end the episode here. Thank you all very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and tune in next week to find out what happens next in Troubles in Toraigh. Thanks again for watching.